Welcome back everyone to Let's Play Rule the Waves 2 as Austria-Hungary, episode number 3. This is also still prior to the release of episode number 1, so I haven't been able to read all the loving, glowing accolades you've written, I'm sure, and not a single comment of criticism. But in all honesty, criticism in Rule the Waves, I know this game extremely well, so at least I feel like you can't guide me incorrectly by suggesting things. I will just take your suggestions at face value. So this is like, out of a few of the games when I really understand them, it's okay for people to say kind of like nonsensical suggestions like, well, you should build a destroyer at 3,000 tons. Because I understand the game is, I understand that it's just impossible. I can speak truthfully. If somebody was to tell me that and I didn't know Rule the Waves, we'd spend about 5 minutes, why isn't it working then? But that's fine. And that's neither here nor there. We're at war with Italy. Very unfortunately, we are blockaded. This is one of the mechanics in Rule the Waves I don't like. It's just, I don't know how to describe it. Like, they have 6 battleships, I have 6 battleships. They have 2 armored cruisers, I have 3 armored cruisers. They have 2 light cruisers, I have 3 light cruisers. They have 14 destroyers and I have 7. In what world are like completely equal forces, and with their battleships being lesser in total tonnage and their armored cruisers being significantly less, like about 9, these are 9,100 each, right? How, in what world is it that our forces all consolidated in the same sea zone, obviously, and theirs might be spread among 2 because Italy has a colony in East Africa, Eritrea. They are blockading me. So this is a mechanic I fully do not understand in this game. What's worse is, in my opinion, in order to blockade somebody, you have got to have a lot more than just one extra ship. Because, I don't know, whatever. The way this works, as far as I know, though, is because Austria-Hungary is extremely easy to blockade. They have a really big modifier working against them, which means that basically, it's very easy to blockade them. Now, can we... No, it doesn't look like we're actually going to be able to invade anyone if I turn on invasion ranges. The only things which we can get to are home area. Unfortunately, most unfortunately, uninvadable. I mean, you'd imagine with Austria-Hungary and Italy fighting, and this happens with like France and Germany and all these things, you'd imagine that most of the fighting would go on the ground. In any case, we move on, we get into our first battle, a cruiser battle, which is actually going to favor me. Nope, never mind, we have 2 light cruisers. Now, our light cruisers are not bad. I kind of want to see the almanac to see what theirs are, but we can do that in a second. So we will accept the battle. Our first battle. And I forgot to show up my fleet editor. That's fine, we'll do it another time. Looks like I need to move this down a little bit. That's good enough. So, this is welcome to the tactical battle. It's actually, I would say this is pretty good graphics for this game. I'm just going to run this at speed for a while. Oh, by the way, what are my settings at? Are we at Captain's mode? Good. I think it's all fine. I'll check it. It should be the same as the previous Rule the Waves series I did, which is where I'd want it. So we're going to go prowl about... Oh, didn't have to prowl very long. Alright, so let's see. We could engage in torpedo firing right away. That's probably a destroyer. That's the main... what we want. Oh, there's a lot of them. And they did a turn away, which means those might be the destroyers. And in fact, they are. Normally, we'd want to be fighting with destroyers, but not with these conditions, where I suspect the torpedoes are just going into the water. We'll crank it up to 20 knots, although we do have to worry about... There's actually people shoveling coal into the boilers. So you have to worry about wearing out the stokers, as they're called. Okay, we've glimpsed the enemy, and it's just daybreak, which is perfect for us. So we have all day to hopefully wear down these ships. And this is the cruiser we're up against. 8 5-inch guns versus our 10 6-inch guns. So we're handily ahead in that count. 2.5-inch belt versus our 2, I want to say. They have 1.5 deck versus our 1. We have 2.5-inch army turrets, they have 2. And they have a catapult with aircraft that is obviously nonsense. It's 1903, right? Yeah, 1903. July 1903. Oh wait, is this backwards? Is it July or is this April? I think... Well, the developer Frederick is, I believe, Swedish, so he probably put that in terms of day, month, year. Okay, and it's not completely... It's like twilight right now, as they would say, I think. But we're not quite to the point where the sun's out, and now the sun is completely up, and we have glare. Why do we have glare? The sun rises in what direction? I mean, this should be pretty much ideal conditions, where they are looking into the sun to try to fire. Should be basically just perfect for us. We're just gonna duke it out. Now, there's a lot of hits going on over here. This all looks normal to me. If you've never played before, and I mean, if you're ever interested in playing, let's go up to Squad Max. I think at this point, no reason to save the engines. They look like they might be closing in for a torpedo run. That was certainly a torpedo. Okay, cut back. Charge them down. Those tight turns will bleed off a bit of our speed, but it looks like we're switching over to pursuit. They've probably taken a few hits and are a little bit leery of further action. And I think that we're going to win this one, so we will pursue. Doggedly pursue the light cruiser. Here comes her destroyers. Back to save the day. Nope, nope, they're off again. That's the problem. So we'll just try to get really close this time before we... Here we go. Aha, we're getting a few more hits. And she's on fire! He's on fire. The fire is truly how you end up sinking a lot of these ships. I really want to go after those destroyers, but I have to say, with Nino still not completely sunk, although we would like to see, so medium damage is what's being reported. She's lost 2 of her guns, both of them on the starboard side, from what we can tell. Which means the starboard side is a great side to approach her from. Doesn't look like she'll be able to get very much done. Now, we are actually using all our ammunition, trying to sink her here. All these tight turns and stuff, should be to our benefit. Okay, they're in... that pop-up could have been, very easily could have been a torpedo hit. So they're in line abreast, which is normally the formation these torpedoes, the destroyers are going to go into for torpedo launching. I have to say, I am kind of convinced that the Nino might be going down, and this is one of those terrible things where you usually say that to yourself and then they end up surviving and you kick yourself all day for letting them live. So let's just focus on her. She is the more important target. She's worth probably more than all 4 of those other destroyers combined. We're going to just keep picking at her, and then once we're confident she really is going down, we'll go after the destroyers. In fact, one thing we could... What? Oh dear, this is interesting. Who is that prowling in the far northwest? One of our scouts, one of our lookouts has spotted a ship far off to the northwest. I'm not going to worry much about her. Yeah, there she is again. Might be a merchant ship. Could be, somebody just... a pleasure cruise, and they hear the gunfire, and they have gotten close enough now to see what's going on. I think I would like to now... Svitsar... or Sigetsar? Sigetsvar. Can you fire torpedoes? Probably not. No solution. Okay. Just too far away. Probably wouldn't... we might have a solution if she wasn't heading away from us. Oh, but she's dead in the water, and that's the right time to launch some torpedoes. Just one will make me very convinced that she's going to go down. So we will try our hardest to put at least one in her. Torpedoes are just... the technology is not really there, but those look good. We have 0 hits. Anyways, I'm going to assume that she's dead anyway. We'll go down to cruise speed. Nope, 20 knots, let's say. Let's go over here and see what these destroyers are up to. Because I am pretty sure that we have defeated the Nino. And it looks like her escorts have abandoned her. Those silly Italians. Yeah, what is this though? It's probably a merchant ship. It's slow. Go up to fast. I mean, it is zipping around pretty quickly. I mean, it's turning around. Yeah, it's a small old merchant ship. So supposedly these things can only make, what, like 8 knots? I beg to differ. That thing was definitely going more than 8 knots. Sink a merchant transport while we're at it. Now we have an opportunity here. And this is interesting from a role-playing standpoint, various different standpoints. You can pick, you get actual extra score for picking up survivors from these ships. It does obviously slow down your war effort for the moment. I'm going to say yes to this one. Go down to normal speed. Go down to cruise speed as well. Just to preserve our stokers. They need a break. They've been shoveling coal like crazy for the last... When did this battle start? Probably around 6 or so? 4 hours of shoveling coal? No, thank you. I don't think I'll quit my day job. And that's that. So, first battle, a resounding Austro-Hungarian victory. The 2 light cruisers defeated the enemy light cruiser, and we managed to sink a transport that was... I don't know, was it considered war crimes or not? I don't know. Yeah, you're definitely allowed to sink the enemy merchants, and you're encouraged to do so. There's nothing in this game about, war crimes or whatever, so... we can go to the ship details to see what happened. I can double click on any of these to find out a little bit more. Like, she was sunk. She was hit by 25 6-inch shells. Ended up losing 3 of her turrets. Pop up the log. See exactly what happened to her at every time. Wow, and it was ultimately, it looks like fire that sunk her. Fire up to 7. It's kind of crazy to think that she really was sunk because of fire and not the 20 whatever shells that we put into her. They were high explosive and they caused the fire, so there was that. But okay, so an Austrian major victory. I don't know if I'd call that a major victory, but I'll let them award me the honor of such. Prestige doesn't look like it's going to go up from this. That would have been nice. And this technology sharing agreement is still helping, which is fantastic. Okay, there it is. Early coastal submarines. Naval's building... Yeah, why couldn't we build submarines before? Well, I don't think we knew how. Germany has added 180 victory points for us. That's the even more surprising thing, that Germany and us together are being blockaded. But, again, and we're still blockaded. You gotta be kidding me. You gotta be out of your mind. Well, that was unexpected, I have to say. Boy, jeez. Well, look, let's activate. Maybe that's why. I don't think we can actually do anything. I think we're blockaded until our ships are taken off reserve duty. So that might have been my fault. It's still definitely a mechanic that I don't understand very well. The idea that you can be blockaded. Because even, I think, 11 battleships can blockade 10 if all other things are equal. And in my opinion, to blockade is that's like you need a superior navy for that. Maybe you need something like 50% more ships, not 10%, but I think the game is coded to say 10% more ships is all you need. At least it's 10% more ship points, which is kind of a wonky thing we can pull up here. You can see that Austria-Hungary, Great Britain, all these things, there's a list of ships and then 91 points for me. Italy has 67 points, so we'll actually be blockading them because 91 is more than 10% more than 67. And it's not even quite like that because there's other factors which I don't know exactly which are thrown in there. I mean, you can look them up, they're in the save game file. Or one of the data files. Anyway, let's just keep going and fight another cruiser battle. Our own forces in the area are much more than just a cruiser though, and you can see that putting people on active duty makes quite a difference. I suspect that we'll actually blockade them by the end of this, but let's see what they mean by cruiser battle, and is it? It is! These are really my favorite ships to command at the very beginning of the game, these armored cruisers. Yeah. And this would have been a great opportunity for me to show off my fleet editor too, but we did not do that, so that's fine. Unknown ship sighted. So actually, we found the Italian Navy. We've cut them off for their... Whoa. Interesting. On both sides. And right now the triangle flag, I should have mentioned, is just when the division is under AI control. Not something I play in captain's mode, which means that I can control every division that is in my force at any point in time. Rear Admiral, you have to be within visual range, so it's kind of cool. You actually have to be within visual range to control any of your other divisions. And Admiral mode means you can only give general orders, you can't control them. You only get to control your flag group. Yeah, so we'll leave them on AI control for now until we figure out what's going on. And we'll kind of inch forward here, because I need to know what's going on. 2 ships that way, which means that's the aggressors. That's the ones we want to go after. We'll crank up to 20 knots. Fleeing immediately. We've got transport here, which means it's probably not the target of opportunity. It is a target of opportunity, but it's not the target we want. So I'll take the destroyers off AI control and send them that way. Put them at 20 knots. Destroyers are much, much faster. 27 knots, so it's like the biggest disparity in speeds that you'll get, because as you go forward, you know, you'll end up with battleships at 28 and destroyers at 35 or so. And although that's only 7 knots more, which is the same thing as the situation here, more or less, it's relatively a lot more. But I think that what we have here is our prey, and it's nighttime. Okay, interesting. So if I had known nighttime was coming, which I could have done just by checking the clock at any point in time, or even scrolling out, I would have seen, you know, the twilight horizon coming. I didn't do any of those things though, so the best bet for us in this is to get a victory by, yep, sinking that transport, exactly. Right on cue. We'll still go in, why not? I have no idea what these are. There could have been a bunch of destroyers we're chasing. And this is what's crazy to me. You telling me that this is a transport which is moving about the same speed as my destroyers, and my destroyers are going 20 knots. 21 knots. Doesn't really seem like it's moving only 1/3 speed, does it? Anyway, it looks like our destroyers have been lost or something, and anyways, well, the main thing we need to do is just keep eyes on them. Let's just transport, because getting anything is a victory. And that will tie us, that will give us the victory points. The battle generator is another, well, I would say that, oh my god, are we going to hit ourselves with our own torpedo? We nearly did. Destroyers are very hard to hit with torpedoes, but it's possible. So we're just pelting them with, I think, what, 4-inch guns? 3-inch guns. Yeah, this is like, we're trying to sink them with rifle shots. I mean, obviously not really. These are, you know, still pretty potent. Oops. 3-inch guns can eventually. I mean, it's like the submarines. Better if we could land a torpedo here, and I think we might as well. There it is. Give it a shot, but never mind. It said the crew heaves to the transport heaves to, and the crew abandoned ship. Same exact minute that we hit them with the torpedo. Lucky for them, they were just already getting off the ship. Now that is going to do it for this encounter. I don't expect that we are going to find the enemy. We can kind of patrol around Brindisi, but the problem with that is, and let me actually put these guys back on AI control. The problem with patrolling near enemy ports is that you could run into mines, which do exist in this game. I can show you that. Well, I guess we don't have a friendly port. Here we go. There we go. There's a mine. One little red circle. So, you can run into their own red circles, which, you know, are not visible to me. I think that won't happen, though. We'll just kind of run off the clock. Oh, this is interesting. So that it's slowed down, which normally means that they're attacking. Oh my goodness. Oh, this is a coastal thing. Okay, we don't care about that. We could destroy the coastal fortification, but it's not worth it. It does mean that they know where we are. Because they will be alerted to the fact that we spotted them, they spotted us. And we can just like roleplay it as us starting to go back to port, because, you know, these turns are a month each, so. Those were actually destroyers that we found, so it's a really good thing that we did not end up engaging. So, yeah, it still counts as a victory for Italy? because we didn't sink enough merchants. Was this my objective? I didn't read. I thought it was a cruiser engagement. But nope, we actually lost that battle. Doesn't, you know, it doesn't matter for much. Marginal victory. Okay. And the O'Donnell is in the yard with engine problems. Oh boy. Okay, we almost have 600-ton destroyers. Oh my gosh, the Italian ship, the Lanciere, but the German ship, Armored Cruiser Rune, has been sunk. Well, that is an embarrassment, a huge embarrassment for the Germans. Oh, okay. We'll just go to the build queue for that. Maybe get 3 of them. Yeah, so it doesn't look like the Germans losing that armored cruiser mattered much. And now we can see that I'm no longer blockaded, and the letter B is now appearing below war, which indicates that we are blockading the Italians. So the shoe is on the other foot now. And that should help speed up the war's end. We can just blockade them into submission. We'll keep accepting these wars, especially, battles, especially a cruiser battle. Now, oh wow, they declined. Convoy defense, not my favorite, but okay, they declined. Fleet battle, wow, something. And some of the Germans have sent some forces to join. Wow, fantastic. Now, let's take this opportunity actually to investigate my fleet editor real fast. Okay, well, it's very much a work in progress still, but we can open up SAC file. So, rule the waves, saves. We're going to open up number 2. Yep, and there it is. We have the 2 SAC files, so we want the rule the waves game 1. We'll open that. Yeah, and we'll back this up. I'll leave it as the backup version. It's perfectly fine. Because just in case we do something we don't like, it gives me an opportunity to go back to it. Excuse me, if I want, I can show the opposing force as well. But I don't want to spoil the surprise, so I'll keep that turned off. It looks like we're going to have a main force consisting of a battle division. We have the German destroyers and light. This is a big group. We have some armored cruisers. Wow, this is a big group. Destroyers. Okay, we are going to do some adjustments. This is perfect. Okay, so right now we have all uniform ship speeds, which is really good. This is the main reason I wrote this algorithm because, oh, Germany has different 26, 26, 26, 27, 27. Well, that's really not that bad. Frankly, I don't mind that so much. I get upset when it's like 22 and 25. Then you're really wasting something. Now, I only really have one ship design of every class, so you can't really mess it up. The ship designer or the battle generator can't really mess it up. But the one thing I would like to do is, right now we have the Hamel, the Brut, whatever, Yugoslavia, 4 in one battle division, but we only have 1, the Svana, in another. And I think I'd like to equalize this a little bit, go 3 and 2. So let's grab the Svana. Let's grab the Yugoslavia and have her join Battle Division 10. So this is the one change I'll make. Is there anything else I should make? We have 1 light cruiser here. We have the heavy cruisers here. And yeah, I don't think there's any other changes I want to make. There's 3 destroyers in this group, 2 in this, 2 in this. Yeah, I think we're okay. We could actually, it's actually possible for me to grab the German different ships and put them into my divisions. I allow that. I don't allow you, for example, though, to take a light cruiser and add it to a... I do allow? I shouldn't allow. Let's put the Medusa back at top, too. Yeah, you're not supposed to be... Maybe cruisers are allowed to join, but maybe I accidentally broke the check. So, Wiana, are you allowed to... Yeah, that shouldn't be happening. So normally I have a little toggle on. I'll look at it. I broke it at some point. Just to keep you from adding destroyers to Oh yeah, I do. I did break it. That's right. I'll have to put it back. I forget why. I think the game does not allow you to do destroyers in a cruiser division. I don't know if it'll break the game. So let's just save this and we'll load it up with just the one change. We'll want to save over the replace it. We already backed it up. Let's see what happens. Okay, we're back. Now let me just see. Where is the Yugoslavia? And if I just run it forward 1 minute, yep, the Yugoslavia is peeling off because she is now part of the Savannah division. Fantastic. All right, that's wonderful. So I have not yet written anything into that fleet editor to move the ships manually to be in formation. You know, once I have like a month of downtime, I suppose I can start doing stuff like that. But for now, it's at least good enough that if you do this fleet editor at the beginning of a battle, they'll reorganize themselves before you get into actual combat, or at least in theory. So I'm going to take a lot of ships off of AI control. I especially really love to get the German fleet into trouble. Now, they are not controlled by me as of yet, so we can't do anything. It looks like nobody, they're all in gray. That's right, another thing which happens, sometimes you are unable to... Oh, I must have put the light cruiser back in the wrong one. There it is. Sometimes you are unable to control things until you spot the first ship. It's kind of like mimicking the idea that you're just out on a patrol and you're not expecting to find the enemy. The battle editor brings you into a point, and because it brings you into the point for a battle, you know that there's a battle looming in the future. So I really like this idea of just not allowing the user, the player, to kind of metagame the battle by making some decisive maneuvers prior to the actual detection of the enemy. However, we would prefer to do that. First thing first, we're going to get the heavy cruisers, or armored cruisers I should say, out of line of fire. Now, it's a little bit crazy because we could lose victory points and actually put ourselves down in the war by doing so. But it is always my prerogative to just recklessly endanger all of the enemy. What the hell are you guys doing? These destroyers are fleeing the scene of battle. We'll try to get them back to the front, but at least we have 4... What kind of... Oh my god, this is the 4-inch light cruisers. I hate these. You know, if they were 6-inch light cruisers, I would at least feel bad about getting them killed. Not anymore. So we're going to charge right on in here. Nose on with the ships. And just prepare to... I hope you guys have torpedoes. You have 1 each. Well, here we go. Okay. Oh my gosh. We're going to start launching. The torpedoes are going to fly. I'd actually rather go after this. Nope, no solution. No solution? What are you talking about? You might actually have a solution, though. You do! Fantastic. Fire. And... You? Friendly ships in line of fire. My least favorite message ever in the world. You will get this message despite there being no, as there are in this case, no friendlies. There are no friendlies anywhere near that this torpedo could possibly hit, but we are getting the message, friendlies in line of fire. It would be nice if Captain's Mode allow you to just override this, but yeah, it's a bummer. So we got that for 2 of them. We were able to launch at least 1 torpedo. If that lands, by the way, it'll be a miracle. Not only that, but it'll be very, very, very powerful. Torpedoes in the early days are, they're not as powerful as they will be. They don't pack the explosive punch, but nobody has protected against them. So a single torpedo can sink a battleship. Ultimately, when we start protecting for these things and have damage control and all that, such things won't happen. Now, it looks like the Yugoslavia is trying to catch up. What the heck is she doing? That was a very wide turn. Yeah, she's making all 19 knots that she can make in an attempt to catch up. Main thing is we want these destroyers to get into the battle. I don't think I want, in such conditions, what is it, nighttime? Yeah. In such conditions, we don't want the battleships to be involved. So I'm going to take them down to cruise speed of 14 knots and just immediately have them turn north away just to preserve them. Now, I do have a reputation for sending destroyers to their death, and I plan to live up to that again this turn. Okay, signals misunderstood. That's the worst thing that could have happened. At least let me fire some torpedoes before you go off and do whatever you're gonna do. Yeah, you don't have one. No solution. No. And friendly ship in line of fire, which may be true in this case. Anyway, I think we could encourage torpedo launching, which is what I should have done. They might have actually launched torpedoes. Turning that option on is supposed to be a trigger for the AI to go and get them. Sends your destroyers in. Like if you were Rear Admiral or Admiral mode, well, really, in any time when you have your destroyers under AI control, setting this flag is the go torpedo them flag. So it's a pretty good one to pick, but when you don't have anything under AI control, I still have this vague feeling that it increases the chances they'll actually torpedo something. Anyway, we did not land our torpedo hits. We know where their fleet is, and this is definitely one of the, oh my gosh, and these are some good ships. 18 knots. It's got 4 12-inch guns. Armor is much worse than ours. Really wish we had control of these guys, but that's fine. We'll get the destroyers in there as fast as possible. We'll get our destroyers back in there as fast as possible. Everybody's squad max. Go and do your thing. And I guess that because they're coming this way, we will also set up the pincer movement. Okay, here it comes. Okay, we now have control over the Germans. And we also have destroyers coming in. We are just like sharks in the water. We smell blood. We're going for it. What the hell formation is going on? Oh my gosh. Go to support. Go to line ahead. Pronto. Tonto. Prepare to launch torpedoes. Los. I hope it's the same word in... I guess it is. Austrian. Oh, we're out of arc. No! But wait, we have one more chance. We do! Fire torpedoes! Damn the torpedoes. Full steam ahead. Alright, so we want to peel off. That might... If that gets a hit, this will be... Oh, it's on its way! You can see how slow torpedoes are. Slow down the action here just to see this. And now these guys really got to get out of here. Okay, here it is. In slow motion. Oh, it went right through the target. No hit. Okay, the Archduke Sixtus has been relieved of her bridge. Although, this is quite an opportunity. Yeah, that one at 300 yards, why don't we fire at that one? Oh, we missed! Oh, we missed! It was 300 yards away and we still missed. Okay, fair enough. All the destroyers are coming in. And we're just taking it easy with our battleships. There's a good reason for this. We're saving our steam. So while they're all doing... Oh, and they're actually coming this way. And while they're all probably at squad max, like their stokers are working very hard, we are gonna... Oh, wow, we actually have an opportunity here. This battleship has been isolated, and I think it's an opportunity for our light cruisers to pounce. In the meantime, we're just gonna get completely shellacked by her guns, but if we can close and start some fires, stuff like that, remember, ships, the majority of ships in the very beginning, in the first 5-10 years of the game, are gonna go down to fires. And we are almost close enough. By the way, speaking of landing those hits, keep landing those hits. We're almost close enough to launch torpedoes here. And destroyers are quick. Now, the one thing you have to kind of look out for besides getting destroyed, it's also something, is, is there any limitation, it would say here, on ship speed because of weather? And in this case, there is not. But the torpedoes are so darn slow. What is our speed at? I can just click on a ship and we'll find out. So they have on that fast, the max, high, if it says some angle at high, that means that it's going to go 25 knots. At low, it's 15 knots. if you wondered why we did not hit this, even going fast, it was going, like, they're probably going 19 knots. It says 50 knots, but it's rounded to the nearest 5. We don't know. And it could be misreported too. Well, anyways, they were going at almost the same speed as our torpedo. You know, and yeah, this is going to be brutal for you. So we actually you can't do things this way. What I'm doing right now doesn't work. You have to get ahead of them and cut them off from a different angle, which we're trying to do here. Like, basically these two destroyers are really just cannon fodder to buy our other destroyers time to get in position. But we may have a shot of things with the Benedetto Bryn class here. If for nothing else, then we can actually try to hit them. Yeah, and they've turned away. This is the wise thing. We're actually going to turn away despite my reputation for sinking destroyers. I don't feel like getting these sunk. Now, we could, if we manage to strategically, or tactically outmaneuver them here. We could end up, yeah, if they turn back towards us, that would be a good thing. That would be certainly something we want. Kind of have to keep our eyes on two different prizes here. Oh my gosh, what do we have here? Oh yeah, the armored cruisers. Well, these would honestly be, let's put them back down to 14. Just have them saunter back in as well. We don't really want their destroyers to see us, but this is a golden opportunity. I'm going to wait one more turn. Oh my gosh, it's even more golden. It's the most golden of golden opportunities. That is a perfect torpedo launch. Oh my gosh, we got 2 torpedoes in the water. And that's just this turn. Next turn, we'll be able to launch some more. Oh, we didn't hit. Oh, it just makes me so mad. I just want to get a hit, please. Just one. Okay. I don't think anybody else will be in range. Okay. Let's maneuver. Oh, they keep hitting. They keep hitting. I swear I'm seeing them hit. Anyways, our destroyers, German destroyers are going to move to the south. Try to pincer. Trying to flank them. And you guys need to go squad max. What are you doing? Get up to speed. But, and this is a weird thing in the very beginning like this. You can actually sink a battleship with shells. So long as you're firing high explosive, you have a chance. Set them on fire and you just could get lucky. Send these guys back. Oh, okay, it's about to become daybreak, which is going to be a really good thing for our battleships. We should probably get into a little bit better formation. So I'm going to have the first battleship speed up a little bit. And second ones come into order. That was not what I wanted. Behind them, like this. Okay, now we have gotten close. This is very close. Oh, it's another good shot. And honestly, what I'm going to do here is switch us over to line abreast. Turn together. And we're going to rotate south. We're going to try to... We hit her! We've done it! If only it wasn't the Germans, I could take more credit. But certainly it was my maneuvering that got it done. This is huge. So we can win the battle just from one torpedo hit like that. Oh yeah, okay. Well, we have other issues right here. Let's continue to line up with the Benedetto down there. So our battleships are in the fight now. Not really, but I mean, they're visible. They're in visible range of the battle now that visibility has improved. I think we might even just go for another one here. Oh my gosh. Yeah. V-25, you are in perfect position. Now this, in my opinion, it would be a fair thing for it to say. Friendly ships in line of fire, but it didn't, so we'll go ahead and take our chances on another torpedo launch. Oh, damn it. That's okay, that's okay. We got one torpedo, and like I said, that is enough potentially to sink her. Let's have the Sigetsvar, yeah. Line up potentially a torpedo attack against the other Benedetto Bryn. Haven't really been looking at these, by the way. Are they all the same? Yeah, this one actually has better armor than the original one we looked at. I don't know which one that was. Okay, you're getting too close, Gumshoe. Pull a little bit more away from that. Hard to keep track of all the things at the same time. And look at it, this is funny. We're actually firing with a lot of our light cruisers all the way back here at these destroyers. You can see that technically these white things are supposed to be where the shells are landing. I don't actually think they are, because I've seen those, yeah, be nonsense before. But it makes it look cool, right? Okay, so please manage to land one more torpedo on this thing, which is probably in bad shape. Oh, it says it's sinking, but that's our estimation. I don't think that's actually true. Although they may have fixed the bug where you could, and you can see by the way that the front gun is grayed out. There's a bug or a feature or something, I'm not sure exactly what it is, where you can determine if a ship is sinking just by telling it, by right clicking it, it set its speed down to 3. I don't know if we have that bug here. Maybe it's been patched. Don't think so though. Alright, so this is basically the perfect opportunity for us to launch more torpedoes. Out of arc, you gotta be kidding me. Well, first things first, we need to get your speed up to 23. And I will have these cut inside. Yeah, torpedoes will win the day. If we're allowed to continue to launch them. And I forgot about what's going on up here. They've actually turned away. We've kind of missed an opportunity, but the good news is, there's several pieces of good news. One, we have another... I think these are the ones that misunderstood the orders recently. So it should say maybe on yours. We have really bad crew quality on these as well, but I think one of them misunderstood the flag orders, so that they're essentially unreachable for a little bit of time. We can give them new orders, but they won't follow. I want to keep them straight because I want to send them into line abreast for a turn on the other battleships. We're going to have the the destroyers here switch back over to line ahead to line them up on potentially... what we've done, which is really, really good, is we separated some of the battleships from the others, which means that my fleet, having kind of just not needed to worry about anything so far, hasn't fired a shot yet, can now actually start firing shots, and... those aren't our hits. We have fired apparently the destroyers, German destroyers fired and hit with 2-inch guns. I don't think that those are going to do very much against the battleship, nor these 3-inch guns, but that's fine. So what we've done is we've isolated 2 battleships from the main group, and then hopefully we can pounce on that. This might be the opportunity for us to actually just kick up to squad max and try to engage. So, try to do that. Yeah, this is good. This is very good, in fact. Because these 2 are heading north, these are heading south. And it looks like we're going to have another great shot on a different... Wait, no, you're probably not leading enough. Yeah, we need to be further ahead of her. Like, the torpedoes would never get to her. So... Alright, we're still ping-ponging this battleship back and forth between our 2 groups. Taking some hits now. I can peel them off. We can go to order of battle. Can right-click and tell them to detach if they take too much damage. I think she's okay. Yeah, she can make 18 knots. We'll leave the division at 21 and just let her slowly fall behind. Eventually she'll detach on her own. But this group is actually in a good position for the battleships heading north. I suspect what these battleships are eventually going to do is turn back to the west. If not, that's... Oh god, no, not this bug. Sometimes there's a bug where you hit spacebar to advance 1 minute and it just continues to go beyond 1 minute. It's been in the game for a long time. Now, this is all the work by one developer. Oh, wow. What is going on here? I don't know if we have... Okay, we will launch torpedoes this way. And we will launch torpedoes this way. The top mounts of the destroyers have a much wider arc of fire because, yeah, they're swivel mounts. But boy, you took a beating. We need to get these guys out of here. Although we're probably a lot faster than them. Mixed thoughts. I might actually want to continue the fight. If we can land a hit, if they end up turning north, we got German destroyers waiting for them. Oh, this is actually, I think this is good. Oh, we hit her! Oh my gosh! This is huge. maybe one of my most successful early game engagements of all time. That's very good so far, and we're in really good position to bring our battleships in. Yeah, this is looking really... I would say this is looking really, really good. So we have other battleships which can go over here. I don't even know which one was hit. Oh, wow, her. Okay. So that, I mean, that does a lot of damage. But who was the one? This is the one that was hit by a torpedo already. Okay. So we want to pounce on her. Now, one of the things you want to do when you're hit by a torpedo is slow down and try to control your flooding. Continuing to engage them is just going to force them to use a lot of speed and not repair the damage. You know, they'll have to go fast, they'll flood more. Okay, what the heck is going on now? There's so many... somebody else's Bukovina's launching torpedoes. That is a good idea. In fact, I will have you launch more than one. Oh, you've already expended 2 tubes? I think we actually launched 2 torpedoes. And that's fine by me. Are you close enough to launch? Oh, the Bratislava's already launched torpedoes. Please tell me... Please tell me you haven't launched torpedoes at the destroyers. They do. The destroyers launch torpedoes at destroyers sometimes. It's just incompetence, but you have a starboard, which is the wrong side. Okay, the Wildcats. What do you have? You have all 3 of your torpedoes, so we just need to make sure... we gotta turn... Yeah, we gotta do this right now. Oh, you still don't have this control, damn it. Okay. Oh no! What? No, don't go to AI control, not now. Oh, whatever. A little frustrating. But that's okay, we got the hit. I mean, I hope we have the hit that I think we have. And actually, if the Leonardo da Vinci here is able to cut across us, and this is the one with the lower armor, if she can somehow end up on the starboard side of the Bratislava, we can end up using our torpedoes. I don't think that's going to happen, but that's fine. And you guys are closing in on the Benedetto Brenner on this side. We'll kind of force the issue by sending the Sigisvar up further north to kind of push against this one. And she has already taken a torpedo hit. Another one would almost surely doom her. If not immediately, she'll be left behind and, you know, we like lions will pounce on the wounded prey. Oh my gosh, it happened! It's happening! This is amazing! And, based on judging on the position of the Wildcats, we should have at least one other opportunity to hit her. This is actually a potential for a collision. They don't happen very often, but every now and then you do have one ship ram another. The speed of both ships will go to 0, and that is a great opportunity for torpedoes. Just in case that happens, I think preemptively, we're going to have to turn the German destroyers like kind of that direction, just a little bit. If it happens, we won't regret it. Oh, the poor Vienna Coffee House? Vienna Coffee House. Oh, Lord. I did not do I was maybe not extremely strict about naming things. It's good enough for me. Anyway, we do have another battleship over here. Should we just leave her alone? I think so. I think what we want to do is really capitalize on the ships. We want to make sure we focus on the ships which are damaged and sink them completely. Because you get no strategic benefit from a ship which is only partly damaged. It'll be back out and fighting you in just a couple months. So, this is actually where we're going to leave this episode too. So it's been a victory so far, a big victory in the making. We'll see how things turn out in the next episode. For now, thanks for watching, stay safe, and take care.